Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to Equilinox. In the last episode, Mischief took root in the Mew Meadows, banishing what was once an era of peace. Not only literally, but figuratively too. Mother Mischief of the Goats in the Hills made quite the lasting impression. She's been teaching all of her babies how to knock down each and every last one of the apples on the trees. And judging by the apples that are all around the forest floor right now, I think they're doing a pretty good job. Our poor sheep don't really stand a chance. Though they seem to be enjoying it too. Did I see you munching on one of those apples, Bridget? Yeah, I think you're happy with your new neighbors. It doesn't seem like the apple guardians are going to be able to stop them. Now, I wanted to do a little bit more work on the lush biome today, and I did tweak a few things over here, but I had to stop because our chickens have actually seen an even greater development. Last time, the darkness overtook them, but we actually had another random mutation, and that's this chicken right here. You can see there's a tiny difference between the colors of their feathers. We have that dark purple that we saw in the previous episode, but she has a slightly lighter hue to her. So now we have 3 different colored chickens in this place. And I realize that our blue chickens are probably going to end up going extinct if we don't do something to help them. So I thought maybe we could pick one up and bring them somewhere else around the world. Somewhere where they're not in danger constantly of being eaten by these foxes. So we have our grasslands over here. That was where our bunnies were. That's where Griffin's golden family is too. And I'm pretty sure that we actually have quite a bit of wheat over here for chickens to eat. The only problem is the chickens don't like trees, so we should probably plant some wheat over here instead. Yeah, right in this field. Oh, they could be neighbors to our pirates. How are our little squirrely pirates doing? Wait a second. Did all of our squirrels die off? Oh my gosh, was there a mutiny? The guinea pigs took over. I don't see a single squirrel in any of these trees. Seriously, what on earth happened? I mean, there were plenty of nuts here. We have so many nut trees in the area. Oh, that is so strange. That's super sad too. I can't imagine what would have caused them to die off unless the guinea pigs literally just rised up from the grasses and took control. Do they not like this area anymore? Let's see if we can test it. I mean, the environment is still at about 90%. So they should be fine here. I'm going to place another group of squirrels down right here then, and we'll see if they can take a root. We'll see if hopefully they can grow before the guinea pigs get too greedy again. That is super strange. But yeah, let's make sure that we're placing some wheat down before we do end up losing all of our chickens. We're down to the last 3 over here, so we've got to be quick. I'm pretty sure all we need for a wheat field is a couple of stones, and it looks like we do have some stones out here anyways. So let's go ahead and place some straight down. Yeah, the stones are the only like species. So while we don't have any stones over here, let's just get a few little wheat seeds growing, and then we'll go ahead and plop the stones in right after. Yeah, I think our chickens are going to be pretty happy over here. From what I remember, they just need a wide open space to roam, and it is very far away from those foxes. So let's see if we can find a good chicken to pluck from their home. Pluck away from the chicken army. We have a Rocket here who's actually pretty healthy. We have a Babe who seems to be on the end of her lifespan, and Itsy too. So I think it's going to have to be you, Rocket. Let's just check to make sure that I haven't forgotten anything. Its dislike species is trees, its favorite biome is the grasslands. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be perfectly fine. So, Rocket, I hope you're ready. You can hop into your rocket ship perhaps and take a nice pilgrimage over to the other side of the world. Oh, and there's so many bunnies over here too. You're going to have some much more pleasant neighbors than before. We just want to make sure that we're not placing you too close to those trees. Let's put you down right here, right next to all of this wheat. Oh, look at that health going up. Rocket is happy as can be. I guess he's a bit more of a loner then. Maybe there were just too many chickens over in the chicken army for him to truly feel at ease. Now he's had a lovely change of scenery. He has the swamplands to gaze over far across the ocean. He has some squirrely pirates and the guinea pigs to keep him company, and plenty of these tiny blue mushrooms. Even the flowery grass as well, so you're going to blend in perfectly here. And thanks to the wide open fields, I guess we could also consider increasing your speed again. You're going to have plenty of room to practice out here, so at least that saves one of our special colors of chickens. The ones who haven't gone straight over to the dark side, I suppose. We have a few lingering remnants here too, but if Brittany gets her way, she'll snuff them out before long. I keep seeing that hungry icon pop up in the corner though. If I see it again, I'll click on it, just so we can figure out who's struggling to find food out here. I wonder if maybe it's our sheep in the hills? They didn't seem too partial to picking the holly berries before, so they were struggling a little bit more than the goats. Oh, there we go. It is actually the goats. Dirty Bill. Gosh, Dirty Bill is having trouble finding his holly berries. Look at him curling up to sleep right next to it. You want to make sure that you have plenty of breakfast to eat, I guess. Yeah, Tiggy is having trouble. I guess it's all just the goats in the hills. Maybe we need to plant down a few more of these holly bushes then. It seems like they need a little bit more food to keep them happy. So the holly bush, it was perfectly suited to this environment. I guess we just didn't place down enough seeds. Since they seem to enjoy the tallest peaks, let's place a couple of them right up here. Then they won't have to travel quite as far to get their breakfast. And now, as the sun is rising once more, we can finally turn our attentions back to the lush biome. Today, I am determined to finally bring some life to this place. A little bit more than the tiny trees that we have poking out of the ground right now. So I did successfully evolve the tall mushroom. Oh, unfortunately that one passed away. That's not a good sign. But I wanted to read about this before we continue on. A tall pink mushroom, which looks a bit like a wizard's hat. This mushroom predominantly likes to live in the lush biome, but it's also able to survive in other fertile areas. It is fast growing and enjoys the presence of stones in its habitat. And thankfully we have plenty of those. The red maple seems fine with the tiny pebbles. It's just the large boulders that they really don't appreciate. I tried my best to bring the lush biome a little bit closer to them as well, but so far it hasn't really taken. I think what we're probably going to have to do is pluck one of these guys straight out of the ground and bring them over here instead. But first, we should probably take care of the swamp stain. The red mushrooms that we needed to evolve the tall mushroom unfortunately spread the swamp biome. So that means there's a little bit of swampiness in this ground down here. And I think it would probably be a good idea for us to take care of them. So if we could just delete those. Wasn't there a way to select that? Maybe it was inside the mushrooms menu. Yeah, of course, if this is the right one. Good job, JessiMew. You just took a giant bite out of the lush biome. Well, I'm sure the mushrooms will continue to spread over here again. But just in case, let's make sure that we place a little bit of the lush grass down, right in the middle of this giant hole. We'll place a few more on the outskirts, give us a little bit more room to work with, because I think next we're going to focus on the trees. These couple of tiny little pink tree saplings just isn't going to cut it. It doesn't look like a thriving biome like the rest of our land, with only a couple of twigs poking out the ground. I wanted to find some trees that we could use for the sparrows too, because we could evolve those into the doves in the lush biome. So we just have to find a suitable tree first. And I think this red tree might actually be the one. It's hard to tell, but it looks like there might be more branches. Definitely more places for the sparrows to perch. So all we need is a red color and some tall mushrooms nearby. The primroses are definitely taken care of because those have taken off like wildfire. So I guess we don't have enough of the tall mushrooms up here. We do have a few pretty close to you. I'm surprised that you aren't happy with those. They have to be really, really close to these trees, I guess. So let's go ahead and place a few more of them down if we can. Now we'll grab this tree over here, since it's the younger of the two, and we'll change its color straight over to red. And hopefully pretty soon we'll see some red saplings popping up in this area too. I suppose we could also start evolving the bamboo. That was originally why we decided to evolve the tall mushroom, so one of these should probably be able to do it for us. Yes, some bamboo. What I want to do is close off this area with bamboo all around. So it'll be a nice little secluded cliffside retreat for our shyest creatures. Are we still having trouble finding food? Is that... Oh? Oh my goodness. Yeah, that seems to be a problem, Maddie. Oh my gosh, did I just break the game? How do I get back to our world? Wait a second. Maddie, how are you even out here? Oh, mischief indeed. What, did you rocket out of this place when you were chasing after the chickens? At least it seems like we can actually claw our way back to the world. I was worried we were going to get stuck here out in the void. There we go, solid ground under our feet again. You can't even see poor little Maddie. I mean, I guess what we could do, if we go back to Maddie if he's still alive, he has a little bit of time left on him, maybe we can actually pick him up? Transplant him. I mean, it is a very, very expensive endeavor. It's going to take us a while to get all the way back to the mainland now. But if we can place him back down with his family, then at least he'll be able to find some food. Yeah, so there we go. All right, Maddie. Let's place you over here, I guess. I wonder if that's going to create 2 different groups of foxes now. Oh, look at him going straight after the blue chickens too. Wow. You are not wasting a second, Maddie. Proving that you can actually hunt without falling into the void. But yeah, is that going to create 2 different distinct groups of foxes? Like, are we actually going to need more chickens now to sustain both of them? Because this group of foxes is actually pretty big. Well, that might be a problem for a different day. We'll come back later and see what Maddie has done with his side of the field. And hopefully we'll still have some chickens here too. I think I saw that our bamboo is done growing though. Yeah, so there it is, our very first little bamboo sprout. Well, we definitely need to read about this first. I have a feeling that bamboo is going to be a little bit tricky for us to grow. It is another 3-star plant. Tall, nutritious green stalks. These bamboo shoots are enjoyed by pandas, or at least will be once pandas have been added to Equilinox. Grows fast in the lush biome in rocky areas near to water. Oh, thank goodness. So the pandas are actually going to be in the game. Another special tomato plant. Wait a second. Not to be outdone, the tomatoes of darkness have come back with a brand new message. Yeah, that's just purple again? Was that the right one? Alright, I guess it's a little bit different. It's really, really hard to tell, but it's basically just another shade of purple. I guess that's kind of been our life in Equilinox so far, though. Purple trees as far as the eye can see. Now, the one thing that concerns me is that the bamboo appears to appreciate water. So I'm not sure if we're actually going to be able to grow it over here. We can place it down just to see if it works, but we might have to adjust where our lush biome is. And that's actually going to be pretty difficult. We don't really have too many open areas next to bodies of water anymore. We might actually have to bring the lush biome over here next to our swamp. I'm not sure how much our warthogs are going to appreciate that. They seem to really like their smelly atmosphere here. They have made quite the home. But these are just about the only open places near our ocean. So we'll have to figure out something soon, I guess, especially if the bamboo doesn't take off. But I am so happy to hear that the pandas are actually going to be added to the game. When I think bamboo, that is the first thing that comes to mind. Oh, is it gone already? I don't see the bamboo here. Yeah, I think it may have passed away. Actually, I wonder if maybe there was a like species that we didn't take a look at. Let's see. It prefers the large rocks. Okay. So it probably really didn't like this area. Oh yeah, the environment is only at a 17. That's because we don't have any large stones to keep it happy. So maybe we can still get this place to thrive if we're crafty enough. A few large rocks on the outskirts, just far enough away from our autumn forest to not cause any troubles. And I guess this will be kind of like the border of our bamboo forest. A little fortress for our introverts. Oh. Wait a second, is that our bamboo right there? Hang on a second. Did I miss that, or did this just grow? Well, the environment is still really, really poor. That's because it's not near its like species still. Well, let's go ahead and place a rock right next to you, and how are you doing now? Oh my gosh, it shot up so fast. Yeah, it looks like it might actually survive after all. So our plan is still in motion. And I've just got to check. We have another hungry animal. And it's actually our goats over here. Really, Winston? Really? He must have just been starving after he woke up overnight. Because there is no way that you don't have any food up here. Seriously. With all these apple trees and everything. I mean, I guess some of the apple trees have actually disappeared. Wait a second. I feel like we had plenty more apple trees over there before. I wonder if maybe some of them just withered away. Rammed one too many times by a Winston's horns, perhaps. Ooh, actually, how interesting. It's almost as if the sheep have lured the apple trees closer to this side of the forest. So maybe the apple guardians are doing their job after all, pulling the apple's influence in a different direction so these pesky goats can't send them all flying. Well, you know what that means? We're just gonna have to pluck one from the ground and bring it closer to the goats. I guess we could probably pick one of our specially colored ones. We'll go ahead and grab this one right here, since it's brand new, and that means it's going to last much longer. We can say that this is Mother Mischief herself uprooting these apple trees to bring it back to her family. A precious gift from our little troublemaker. So how many foxes do we have on the hill right now? It looks like quite a few. Oh, this is definitely two different groups of foxes. Oh, Maddie, what have you done? Actually, Maddie is still alive over here. Oh, this must be your little baby. Chrissy, and I think this one's name was Scooby. That is pretty adorable. The chickens probably don't think so, though. In fact, it seems like our chickens of darkness might be withering away now. We have Griffin, we have Sierra, we have Maddie the chicken too. Well, Maddie against Maddie. Let's selective breed you, little one, and we'll see which one of the Maddies ends up coming out on top. Oh, and I almost forgot. We have all of these red trees out here. Can we start evolving the actual red tree now? It looks like the tall mushrooms are still being a little bit of a nuisance. Let's go ahead and place a couple of them right next to the trunk then, and that should be enough for us to finally evolve the actual big red tree. So let's cross our fingers that this is going to allow us to transplant some of the sparrows too. We already have white sparrows over here in the forest, so I'm probably going to use these instead. No need to go evolving a brand new flock if we already have one in our worlds. So what else was suited to the lush biome? I want to say that the lizards could live here too. Let's go ahead and select lives in the lush biome again. Yep, butterflies, lizards, foxes. I definitely want to make sure that we have the lilac foxes for this place, but that's going to take a while with all the points we'll need. We could actually have ducks too if only we had a nice good body of water. They're not going to like it up here in the hills, I'm afraid. But we could evolve the peacock from them. I wonder what that takes. Probably just living in the lush biome, right? Oh, wait a second, a diet of the hive? Wait a second, we have our red tree? But I think we could probably evolve the peacocks from you, couldn't we? Napoleon the duck? Oh no, his diet is seaweed? So is yours. Oh, don't tell me the bears are keeping you away. You know, I thought we placed down another group of bees over here, and I thought that would help us make another hive. But it seems like that wasn't actually the case. Like, how many bees do you need in one part of the world to make another hive? Is that even possible? Because I think we need some more honey over here to keep these bears full. I wonder if maybe we placed it a little bit further away, if that would work. The only problem is we don't have quite as many flowers over here, so I guess we would have to start spreading them in this direction. We have to make sure that it stays true to the grasslands for our chickens, though. So let's change this to things that live in the grasslands, and hopefully that'll find us the right flowers that we need. We could place some daisies over here on the hills. The buttercups I'm going to skip, though. The tulips I think were also good for the grasslands. We had those over by Griffin's family too. So some little tulips in between the trees. Yeah, look at this, our ducks are so hungry. They need another hive for sure. So the bees seem like they would be pretty happy over here too. It's definitely not their favorite biome, but it should do for now. And we don't have too many other animals over here that would be affected by the bees. At least I don't think so. Wait a second, was that little bee going straight over to this hive instead? Oh no, it looks like he's still floating around over here. Way up on top of the hill? Oh my gosh, did you actually just start building your hive up here? Way up here where our poor little ducks can't reach? Oh, that is such a bummer. Foiled again, my little ducklings. Well, maybe we could just build some hives over here and see if they can survive. I know that the ducks are going to be pretty sad without some water to keep them happy, but our bamboo forest is doing okay, so maybe the ducks would too. But let's go back to our red trees to see if we can get this thing to grow, and to see if it'll work for our sparrows, of course. A small forked red tree. This pretty tree continuously drops red leaves and has space in its branches for birds to land and build nests. The tree likes to grow in lush areas. Excellent, so this is going to be perfect for our sparrows after all. Wait a second. It dislikes mushrooms? Are you kidding me? After all of the mushrooms that we had to spread around this land, it turns out that you don't even like them? Oh my gosh, is there even a corner of land that doesn't have a mushroom in it? I mean, I guess this over here, this is probably our best bet. But the lush biome is also struggling in this area. Yeah, and it still says that its disliked species is nearby, so there are definitely some mushrooms hiding. I think I see them right down here. I wonder if maybe we could just remove the tall mushrooms in this area then? Maybe that would help to keep this tree happy enough to survive, because we don't want to have to plant another one down again. What do you think now? Excellent, much better. So everything over here, this is our mushroom-free zone. No mushrooms creeping into these hills. But we will have to make sure that we place some more primroses over here, I guess, because those will help keep this land much more fertile. Oh, and speaking of mushrooms, I completely forgot. After we made the tall mushroom, we actually completed this mushroom mastery task. That doesn't give us any new tasks to work on, but it does give us quite a few points. And look at all those, 3 creatures are hungry now? It's just our goats again? Yeah, all of our various different goat families. The poor things. They're really struggling to find food out here all of a sudden. The red tree itself is still pretty small. It's only about 50% of the way grown. So I'm not sure if we should bring the sparrows over here right now, or if we should wait until this place is taken off a little bit more. I guess instead, why don't we go ahead and place some butterflies in this place? It looks like the biome is alright. Again, not its favorite place to live, but I think that's because the butterflies probably prefer the grasslands. The lush biome is a bit of a change. We'll place another group way down here. That way all of our animals in the bamboo forest can enjoy some little butterflies fluttering around. A nice splash of color between all of these pink leaves. There we go. Our very first little splash of life too, and it goes straight to the butterflies. So if we have little rainbows fluttering through the skies, maybe we should turn our attentions to the lizards next. Then we could have some rainbow lizards scuttling around in those big rocks. I guess they'll be part of the bamboo forest too. We kind of figure that the rainbow lizards might actually be the healers of the world. Since we have the rainbow lizards taking care of all of these fruits in the jungles, I guess we could say that they're shipping off some brand new medics to the opposite end of the Mew Meadows. So let's make sure that this is going to be a suitable environment for them too. I don't think the lizards were too picky. There is one thing that they're missing though, and it seems like they're actually happier up here right now. Well, let's go ahead and place a group of them over by these trees then. What was it that they needed? Oh, just trees. Okay, that makes sense. The bamboo certainly doesn't count as a type of tree. So can we just place some pink trees down here? I don't think that the red maples would be happy in this valley. They prefer the higher altitudes. So the pink tree looks to be just fine. There we go, much better. So we'll set you up right next to these stones, little guy. You can get your bearings in the lush biome, especially before we start adding in some larger creatures. He can find all of the best nooks and crannies to hide in, and the best places to pack away his medical supplies too. So this place is looking much, much livelier than it was before. Trees everywhere, some new types of trees too. Kind of like the sycamore tree actually. It's letting down those leaves. And now that the leaves are falling, I'll bet it would be ready for some sparrows to nest inside. So if we head back to the Forest of Mischief and try to grab one of these sparrows in the sky. Wait a second, you guys. Unsuitable biomes, lush? Oh my gosh, here I am thinking that I can just cart them straight over to the lush biome? That would have killed our poor little birds. There is no way that they would have survived here, right? Well, does that mean that we need to bring some of the primroses over to our forest then? I guess we could give it a try. Though I'm pretty sure that the primroses are going to spread the lush biome too. So that might actually disturb quite a few animals here. I'm not sure who else is going to be offended by the presence of the lush biome. The sheep seem okay, but these wild boars? I'd be pretty surprised if they like the lush biome. They prefer the forest and the swamps, but at least they aren't completely offended by its presence like the sparrows are. I wonder, would the acer tree provide a good place for the birds to nest? Let's see if those branches are big enough. Yeah, provides a nesting spot for birds. So what if we place some primroses over here? That way it wouldn't affect any of our other animals. And we could just bring one of the sparrows over to that location instead. That one is a little bit too old. It won't last long enough to give us the doves. So how about you, little one? If we can click you as you settle down on that branch? Nope, it looks like he does not want to go. Not even letting us take a look at his lifespan. There's one over here too. There we go, that one's a little bit better. Still pretty old, but we'll see if it works. We'll grab you and we'll plop you down right next to this acer tree. What do you think, little guy? Oh my gosh, just like our chicken? So much happier over here. Actually, wait a second, speaking of chickens. Oh, there we go. A brand new chicken army for a brand new wheat field. Yeah, we didn't have anything to worry about. Our blue chickens have never been happier. So assuming that our little sparrow is going to build a nest right in this tree, and assuming that the tree isn't going to fall down either. Alright, we still have plenty of time on that lifespan. Let's find our primroses again, and let's cross our fingers. Oh no, this biome is terrible for the primroses. Well, our pirate's land is actually plenty suitable for the primroses. 86%. The only question is, what would our pirates think? I mean, it is a brand new treasure, and our squirrels seem to be doing much better than they were before. You guys do like rare little trinkets, don't you? Alright, so a little bit of a change in plan, my sparrow. If we could find you again. Oh no, the sparrow has fluttered off somewhere, probably still trying to find some... Ooh, the fox hunting task? Yeah, some little twigs to finish that nest. Wait a second. Have our foxes finally hunted enough chickens? Well, that's going to unlock us the wolf in sheep's clothing task. So that means the wolf is next on our list. There you are, my little sparrow. I know you've gotten so far building your nest, but we're actually going to pluck you up again, pick you right out of the sky, and bring you over to our nut trees next. I'm pretty sure that these would be good for building nests too, right? Yeah, provides a nesting spot for birds. So let's see which one of these trees our sparrow decides to start building its home, because we want to make sure that our primroses are going to be super close to them. Are you choosing this tree? Well, she spent quite a long time perched on top. Just admiring your options, I guess? Ah, there we go. There's the first nest. So now it's time for primroses. It was 3 primroses, right? So we'll just place 3 of them right in a little triangle around this nut tree, I guess. Now, can we evolve you straight away? Or do you always have to be in the area? That's the question. It looks like the dove evolution is still working. I hope because the sparrow made a nest over here, that's going to count as her home. Otherwise, I'd imagine this evolution is going to take a very long time. So thanks to this, we now have a teeny tiny little patch of lush biome way over here too. Fighting with the woodlands even. Are nut trees okay with that? Oh yikes, the environment is going down pretty fast. In fact, the health is absolutely awful. It prefers the woodland biome, that's actually its favorite. So maybe all we need to do is spread a couple of the buttercups over here. That would probably help. So let's go ahead and plant some down in these gaps, and cross our fingers that our sparrow's home won't come crashing down. It seems like the dove's evolution is going to take quite some time, so I think that's something that we'll finish off in the next episode. We've already done a pretty good job of bringing life to the lush biome after all. So in the next episode, armed with all of these brand new trees and plants, we'll see if we can finally get something to take a root on the edge of the world. We'll also have to take a look at the wolf task too, and maybe we can make some progress there as well. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!